Hello students, and welcome to the TikTok style version of 2 Minutes or Less, chapter 3, as he himself puts it. This chapter is about quoting and how to quote. A key premise of this book is to write a good argument. You need to refer to the conversation, right? The larger conversation, those arguments of others. A good way to do this is by quoting those exact words. So first of all, I want to say I have seen in all my years a lot of problems with quoting, and usually quoting, number one, is quoting way too much. Sometimes quoting too little. Assuming that the quote speaks for itself, big problem. And then just throwing in quotes. So those tend to be my biggest things. Usually it is quoting too much, and often it is patchwork quoting, where people think they can just change one or two words and that makes it okay. You cannot do that. If it is exactly from a text, you have to put it in quotation marks. So my favorite idea from this book and the text is the orphan quote. The text says that some writers fail to see that quoting is more than simply putting a "they say" in quotes. In a way, quotations are orphans, words that have been taken away from their original context and that they need to be integrated into their new textual surroundings. So when quoting the "they say," we must always connect it to what you say, right? So you have to connect whatever they say to what you say, what your argument is. So choose those quotes wisely, know why you chose it and what you want to do with it, and then surround that quote with a frame. As the book says, don't be a hit and run quoter. Be sure you don't just drop a quote in without making connections or explaining it. The text has some good examples of hit and run quotes, and I suggest that you guys look at it. So how do we quote then? You want to make a quote sandwich. You want to have a lead-in, which explains who is speaking and sets it up. A quote, right, which is sort of the meat part. And then you want to follow up. Why is this quote important, and how does it relate directly back to your argument? At the end of the chapter, there are a lot of really great templates for your introducing your quotes. So you may even want to put a few of those, like on your computer or on the side of your desk, so that when you're writing, you can refer to them, because they are really, really helpful. I've used some of them even in my writing. Lastly, the text says that, can you overanalyze a quote? Well, for our purposes, I think no. When you think you've explained the quote enough, add more. So most composition students, I have noticed, fail to explain the quote enough. Don't be afraid to really, really explain where it came from, why you're using it, and how it proves to your point, and how it relates back to the main point. With that, I wish you the very best, and hope you enjoy reading chapter 3, and I will see you online.